Hey everyone, this is Roland here. Welcome and thank you for being here. And I have a word that I really felt to share with you. And I just feel like, like there's people who, like have been hoping in the Lord, but and they've lost hope, like you just are so discouraged and, like you just don't see a way out. And I have a word that I really feel that I need to share with you. And I want to go to a story in the Bible in Acts, and this is a story about Paul. Now, Paul, was on his way to Rome, and he was, God had ordained for him. This is one of the main purposes for Paul, right, was to proclaim the word to the Gentiles. God used him to do that so powerfully, and now the next person was Caesar, and God was leading and directing his steps. Anyway, they're at sea, and what happens? They get to a harbor, and Paul warns the captain and all the seamen, and hey, we better be careful in going, because I foresee that there's going to be loss and tragedy, and the captain, based on his experience, says no way, and the Roman guards like, no way, let's move on, because Paul is captive on this boat. He's been taken to Rome. But God is still in it. Like I said, God ordained for Paul to proclaim the word to Gentiles, and now he's going to Caesar, and these are the doors that God has opened. But again, he's going as a prisoner. Anyway, they keep on going, and as they're at sea, they encountered this hurricane, and it is a disastrous storm, and it is doing damage. And anyway, let's go right to Acts 27 verse 20. And it says, when neither sun nor stars appeared for many days, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope of our being saved was at last abandoned. And this is Paul speaking. So even Paul, knowing where he was going, knowing God's plan for his life, got to a point where, they've been trying everything, and the storm kept on going. There was no reprieve, and it just seemed hopeless. And it says they got to a point where it says, all hope of our being saved was at last abandoned. And I agree. And there are times where, the enemy is always trying to get us to lose our hope, right? To get us to stop trusting God, to get us so discouraged and, so hopeless, to make us believe that there's no answer, that there's nothing that can be done for us, But I want to encourage you and say that God is in control. God is with you. God is faithful and is true. And keep on relying on Him. Keep on trusting in Him. Keep on praying to Him. Keep on speaking to Him. Keep that relationship with Him so strong, so tight. He will come through for you. Do not lose hope. And even if hope is like here where it says all hope was abandoned, all hope was lost, if that is you, I just want to encourage you to come back to hope, come back to faith, trust in God. Don't remain in that place, because even with Paul, there was a word that came to him, an angel came to him, and this is what the word said. And let's go to Acts 27, verse 22 up to 24, and it says, yet now I urge you to take heart. This is Paul speaking to everyone on the boat. Yet now I urge you to take heart, for there will be no loss of life among you, but only the ship. For this very night there stood before me an angel of the Lord, to whom I belong and whom I worship. And he said, do not be afraid, Paul, you must stand before Caesar. And that's my encouragement to you. Do not be afraid. Keep on worshiping. The God you worship, the God you pray to, will come through for you. He is faithful. And with that, I hope you've been encouraged, and I've come to the end of this episode. I will see you next week, and God bless.